So I'd replaced the spindle on that 318 John Deere not long ago, and I'm going to fix this one up for him a spare. And I kind of got it to go back together here. See how that's wore down in there and stuff. And also it's a little bent. I'm thinking about trying to straighten that out a little bit. But actually when you put it together, and I put those washers there, I'm going to run a washer on top. But I put those washers there because I figured if I could get this down flat, where you at? I figure if I get this down flat, that would be good. And then there's plenty of space to run that washer, because that spindle, when I change the other one, it has a lot of play in it up and down. So if I run that washer, it should eat the washer up, and it's a soft washer before it eats up this. The only thing I'm worried about is the spindle, the housing on the axle. The spindle I don't care as much about. What I did, I cleaned this up, and I did grind it back a little bit, because I will take and run a little bead across those. And I beveled this back a little bit, probably not enough. Did the same thing here, and I got some paper towel or cardboard wrapped around it. You can kind of see how that's wore down in. I'm only doing this with a little 140 MIG welder too, so I should probably prep this much more. I should grind some more and all, but I think we'll be fine. There, I kind of beveled that back a little more. Now I think I'm going to try to hook my ground out here. I should go shine up a little spot out here. I don't really want to hook it to the shaft unless I could hook it somewhere where the bearings don't ride. I guess I could hook it in the middle here where the bearings don't ride, but I'll just see if I can do it here. So I'm going to try to put this back together. I did try to clean it up a little bit. I probably should clean it up more. I probably should put them washers on there. See, those washers lay on there pretty flat. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It just holds the steering. Even if it's a little bit of an angle, as long as this fits on there halfway decent. Let's see what I got on the sides here. That's no good. Can you see how that's all chipped up on that side? So I'm going to have to make sure I get it back there where it can lay flat. Now that looks a lot better. I don't know if you guys are seeing that or not. I think check the back side here. I think I'm happy to weld that back right where it's at. So what I'm going to do, I'm no welder, so this is going to be horrible. We're going to do flux core and everything. And I don't know, here's what I got. This is what I got right now. I weld here, here, and around there good, and tack the other side. But right now I'm just going to tack it in about 3 spots, and then I'll turn it over and I'll tack on the top. That way it doesn't suck it up as bad. And right now I think we're in good to go shape. Too much wire, I can feel it. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to clean that up a little bit, but I'm going to take it off and look at it. Now this is worn down some. I ain't going to try to put a lot of weld in here because I don't want it to grind much down. I'm going to just try to fill these 2 spots in. And then I'll flip it over and really weld the top. Okay, I didn't do as bad on that side as I did this, but I got her high. I have to grind it off. Darn it. Told you I ain't no welder. I should get a better grinder. So here's what I ended up with. Look, I touched the spindle a couple of times with that grinder. Don't do that. I had to grind a little bit over here. This was kind of like warped up a little bit, so I kind of tried to smooth it out. Like I say, this washer, I'm not so worried about it because this washer, I got plenty of room for this. I don't put this on whenever you go to put the spindle on. And that way the bottom of the axle rides on this washer and the disposable part will be the washer. I think we'll be fine. I don't roll it over now and run some beads on the bottom here. You're not supposed to do multiple passes. First time I ever welded with this wire, I'm not sure what to think of it. It doesn't have much splatter. That's all the oomph I got in my welder. Really should be having a little bigger welder for this. I burn up into that old weld, so I'm going to burn one more time into the plate right here. This is GS wire. It's not multiple pass wire, but I'm going to do it anyhow. There's what we got. I did a couple passes there instead of just one. I did 2. Had to come back and dress up a little spot there because I didn't get all the way around. But I think that's got plenty of weld to hold it. What looked like before, they welded to the rod part, but didn't get no penetration on this metal part back here. So I think we'll have that covered. I'll let that cool off a little bit. Get that slag off of there. If I just wasn't so messy on the other side with the grinder, it would look okay, I guess. Okay, so there's my ugly welding. A little cold on the side here, see there? But that 140 is just barely enough to try to do this. And that welding wire, it's the first time I ever used that welding wire, but I think I could get used to this, because look, there's hardly no slag at all, you know, hardly no speckles compared to that Forney or whatever I was using. So I think if I have a notion to build a couple passes out just to make that stronger, but I think I was gonna leave it the way it is. So there's the mess I come up with. I went one more pass. Now this is GS wire. So you're not supposed to do multiple passes with GS wire, and GS wire isn't held to no standards. If you're buying Flux Core welding wire and you're looking at GS stuff, that doesn't mean anything. One manufacturer can be completely different than another one. There's no real standard, I believe. I think if it has, what's the numbers? Is it 11? I don't know. There's a couple of numbers, might be 11 or something. But if there's numbers at the end, it's, what is it, AWS standard it meets or something. But anyway, this stuff, I just hit that with a wire brush, and most of the splatter come right off with just barely hitting it. It's pretty easy to deslag. Boy, it is a mess though. Shoot. One thing is this welder, I had that on the highest heat setting, and when I first started out I had the wire just barely touching. I could feel it, and I turned it down a little bit. I tried to, but I just don't have enough heat in that welder to really be doing what I'm doing here. Here's this side. It has a little to be desired yet. Person was a little better grinder than me, or a little better welder. But that's going to go in between. I got plenty of room in that spindle. One of these washers is going to go between, or go under here, and all the wear should be here instead on the spindle or something. It's a 110 volt Hobart Handler 140, and this is, you know, fairly thick. Plus you have that shaft that sucks all the heat out of everything. So anyway, I think if once I get used to that wire, and I was running 030 wire, so I'd like to try that in some 035 on here and see what it do. Actually, to do this, really a bigger welder would have been nice. Stick welder would have been nice. I like my stick welding. Thinking about upgrading to one of them inverter welders. I ain't sure what I want to do yet. Okay, there's where I've been playing with this. There's the moon, and there's my solar street light. It burns all night, all summer long. Whenever we get the long winter cloudy nights, the 12-hour nights or plus in the cloudy days, we have a little issue with the solar there, but kind of neat there by the moon, huh? Solar flagpole light, awesome. Keep one of them somewhere charged up. Electric goes out. If you have a couple of them, you can light up the rooms in your house enough to do what you need to do.